Chapter 2. Jessie almost flew home from school. She would swear that her feet didn't touch the ground. Not once. She had a date with Slater. Sure, it was because he was her ex-boyfriend. But at least she'd have a chance to spend time alone with him. At least he'd be coming home to her house to pick her up, just like he used to. At least they'd be walking to party together, arm in arm. Well, maybe not arm in arm, but together. Like they used to be. Who could say that he wouldn't feel like he used to, too? At home, Jessie sang her way through chores. She dumped a load of laundry into the washer and cut up vegetables for her mother's pasta primavera. Then she grabbed the watering can and ambled out back to water the herb garden. She hummed the tune of a new ballad on the radio, occasionally bursting into song. Zach's voice came from behind the hedge. "Do you mind, Madonna? I'm trying to study." Jessie walked to the hedge and peered over it. Zach was lying in a lawn chair, his face tilted towards the sun. A glass of iced tea sat on the lawn next to his closed chemistry book. A sports magazine was opened up on Zach's lap. "Who are you kidding?" Jessie said, laughing. "That chemistry book practically has cobwebs on it." Zach gave her a baleful look over his sunglasses. "What do you have to sing about? I thought your heart was breaking." "You've been in the sun too long, Morris," Jessie said cheerfully. "Don't you remember what happened today? I got a date with Slater." "And you got a date with Kelly. Just think, Zach. Nanny's party is the perfect opportunity for us to reignite a few sparks." Slowly, Zach stood up. He pushed his sunglasses on top of his head and walked over to Jessie. He gazed at her with steely eyes. "No, it's not," he said. "It's not?" Jessie repeated. Zach shook his head. "You may think I was just catching a few rays before, but I was actually coming up with a foolproof plan." "Fantastic," Jessie burbled. "I just knew you would. What is it?" "I'll do anything you say. Okay, now hear this. On your date with Slater Friday night, you'll act completely cool and distant," Zach instructed. "What? I won't do it," Jessie said, stamping her foot. "Zach, this is my big chance to win him back." "Hello? Whatever happened to 'I'll do anything you say'?" Zach asked. "Anything you say that I agree with," Jessie amended. "Jessie, listen to me," Zach pleaded. "I've given this a lot of thought, and what I've decided is this. When it comes to affairs of the heart, the tried and true methods are best. Old-fashioned values, Jessie." "What are you talking about, Zach?" Jessie asked suspiciously. "That green-eyed monster, my friend," Zach said. "Jealousy. You're going to make Slater grind his teeth and howl at the moon." "This is sounding better," Jessie said encouragingly. "You're going to fall for someone else." "But who?" Jessie asked. "There's no one I'm interested in. I only want Slater." She sighed. "Nobody compares with him." "How about me?" Zach asked. Jessie burst out laughing. You? She choked. Zach drew himself up stiffly. "Yes, and as soon as you stop laughing, I will explain." "I'm sorry, Zach," Jessie said, wiping a tear from her cheek. "It's just that we've been best friends for so long. Who would believe us if we started dating?" "How about Kelly and Slater?" Zach countered. "They were just friends for a long time, and they started dating. Everybody believes them." "True," Jessie admitted reluctantly. "But that's because they really are dating." "If we're convincing enough, everybody will believe us too," Zach said. "Look, Friday night is the perfect time for us to kick off our plan. We'll go out with Slater and Kelly, but we won't try to win them back. We'll be cool. That alone should drive them slightly nuts. Then, when we see each other at the party, we'll flirt like crazy. They'll go absolutely bonkers." "I don't know, Zach," Jessie said reluctantly. "Slater and Kelly know us too well. They'll know if it's a ploy." "No way," Zach said confidently. "We'll say that we followed their example and realized that having a friendship first was the way to go. If we do it right, we'll convince them. Besides, Jess, Who's better at romantic sparks than Zach Morris? I practically wrote the book. I guarantee we'll be hot, hot, hot. Jessie leaned over and tilted her watering can over Zach. A few drops of water sprinkled out. "Hey," he said, flinching. "What was that for?" Jessie giggled. "Just wanted to cool you down," she said. "I want to make Slater jealous, not crazy." "Okay, Zach, it's a deal. I'll see you Friday night and we'll start stoking that fire." Zach wiped his arm with his t-shirt. "Just leave your watering can at home," he grumbled. And there's a little break here, there's a section break. I don't know if I'm supposed to stop or... I'll clear my throat. Twice. On Friday night, it was still light when Nanny's barbecue began, but she had lit little votive candles in blue glass holders on the tables set up around the pool. The light from the flames twinkled as the shadows deepened on the lawn. Soft music wafted from speakers set up on the patio. Nanny had gone all out to create a romantic mood, and she had succeeded magnificently. If only Jeff were here, Lisa thought dreamily of her current boyfriend. Things were going so great between them. Jeff was in college, but he still came back to Palisades every weekend. And even though he was usually busy with his big family, he always made time for Lisa. "Wow, the place looks great," Cal said beside her. "Nanny seems so straight-laced at school, but she can throw a great party." "It looks really romantic," Lisa agreed. She looked over at Cal. His brown eyes were sparkling, and there was an expectant grin on his face. Lisa had forgotten how much fun she'd had when she dated Cal. He had a terrific sense of humor, and he'd always been up for anything. Lisa had a tendency to wear people out, but Cal had always been ready for one more dance, or a quick swim before lunch, or whatever she had wanted him to do. Why had she ever broken up with him? Just then, Lisa caught sight of Sissy Garlock across the patio. That had been why, she remembered. Cal and tomboy Sissy had been next-door neighbors and best pals, so Sissy had tagged along on dates with Cal and Lisa, driving Lisa nuts. Lisa had decided that what Sissy had needed was a guy of her own, so she'd taken her a makeover and urged her to go after the guy she wanted. Lisa had been shocked when the guy had turned out to be Cal. But her problem hadn't actually been Sissy, Lisa thought now. It had been her pride. As soon as she'd realized that Cal had returned a little of Sissy's interest, she'd let him go. Sissy and Cal's relationship had only lasted a few weeks, but once Lisa was through with the guy, she never went back. But now, looking at Cal's handsome face, Lisa had to ask herself why. It doesn't matter, Lisa told herself, giving herself a little mental shake. Now she had Jeff Racine. "Want a soda?" Cal said. "Or would you like to dance? Let's kick off the party. What do you say?" "Sure," Lisa said. She'd forgotten that with Cal, she'd finally met a boy who liked to dance as much as she did. Cal swung her into a slow dance and began singing in her ear. He didn't know the words though, so he made up his own. He crooned, "Lisa, lovely Lisa, over broken glass I'd crawl to see her at the mall. She wraps me around her finger, and I want to linger. Now I know I'm no singer, but boy, the girl's a zinger." Lisa couldn't help laughing. She leaned back into his arms. "I didn't realize you were so musical," she teased. "Oh yes, I studied at the Tin Ear Conservatory of Music," Cal said gravely, a twinkle in his eyes. Lisa felt her shoulder being tapped. "Oh, Lisa," Nanny Parker asked, "could you give me a hand with something?" Sure, Nanny," Lisa said. She wondered why Nanny had picked her. There were plenty of girls standing around doing nothing. But she excused herself from Cal and quickly followed Nanny to the other end of the patio. "What is it, hun?" Lisa asked. Do you want me to dish up some salsa or something?" "I want you to stop dancing with Cal," Nanny blurted out, her hands twisted in front of her. "What?" Lisa asked. "Oh, I didn't mean that the way it sounded," Nanny fretted. "What I mean is, The whole reason I threw this party is so I could get to know Cal. I'm just crazy about him," she said wistfully, her eyes fixed on Cal. "We worked together on this feature article for the Beacon, and I don't think I've slept a wink since. He's so fabulous." "Don't you think so, Lisa?" Lisa shrugged. "Fabulous, no question." "So if you dance with him all night, I won't ever get to talk to him," Nanny said. She peered at Lisa behind her wire-rimmed glasses. "Oh dear, you don't want him back, do you?" "I don't want to poach on your territory, but I know you're dating Jeff Racine." "No, I don't want Cal back," Lisa said. She gave herself another little mental shake. "Of course I don't." She said more firmly, But what can I do for you? Can you give me some pointers on the way to his heart?" Nanny begged. "I really need help, Lisa. He doesn't notice me at school at all." "Of course I'll help you," Lisa said. "I'm on your side, Nanny." Nanny was a sweet girl, and Lisa really liked her. And it was cute to see her all nervous and excited over a guy. But why did Lisa feel the teeniest bit reluctant to help her win Cal? Lisa headed off to get a soda. Maybe it was just because she found it hard to let go of her ex-boyfriends. She always felt a sense that she owned a tiny piece of their hearts. But she was bigger than petty jealousy. Of course she'd help Nanny. Nanny and Cal would be perfect together. Almost perfect as she and Cal had been. There's the throat clearing thing again, I guess. I gotta clear. Zach and Jesse met at the far side of the pool. "Look happy to see me," Zach said through his teeth as he gave Jesse a grin. "Why shouldn't I, you toad?" Jesse asked through a sweet smile. I guess I should... "Why shouldn't I, you toad?" Jesse asked through a sweet smile. "I followed all your instructions. That was cool and distant. I didn't even say hello when he came to the door. I nodded. I practically sat outside the car. I pretended he was my great Aunt Clarice, and I acted really formal. I even asked how Kelly was, and he didn't notice a thing." "I had the same problem with Kelly," Zach admitted. He reached over to take Jesse's silk wrap. He kept his hands on her shoulders and looked deep into her eyes. "It's time for phase 2, he said. "Great," Jessie grumbled as she kept her eyes fixed on Zach and tried to put a simpering expression on her face. "Let's hope it works better than phase 1. Zach sneaked a peek over Jessie's shoulder. He sighed, and his hands dropped. "We might as well wait for our moment," he said. "They aren't looking." Jessie twisted around. Kelly's head was pillowed on Slater's broad shoulder as they slowly circled in time to the music. "I'll say," Jessie said woefully. "Oh, Zach, this isn't going to work at all. They only have eyes for each other. They'll never notice us." "Trust me," Zach said. "They will. We just have to be strong. By next week, Slater and Kelly won't be able to stand it. They'll be so jealous. They'll be begging us to take them back," he vowed. "I guarantee it. But we must keep our pact no matter what. Deal?" Jessie winced as Kelly smiled up at Slater, and he bent down to kiss the tip of her nose. "Deal," she said. So that brings a conclusion to the chapter 2. Chapter 3 is next.